Hey guys, it's Caden. Welcome to another Autism Digest interview. As you can see, we are on Zoom now. Our old recording software was experiencing some issues, so we're trying out Zoom currently for these interviews. So keep on subbing, and we'll keep on bringing you quality content like this. Well, that said, let's get down to business. This next guest is an alternative rocker on the spectrum. He's been in the music industry for over 20 years at this point. You might have heard him with several different bands, many of which you probably grew up with. He's the host of the Brew Up Foes podcast, and he has an album coming out. He is Chad Ackerman. Thanks for coming on, Chad.
Thank you for having me, Caden.
All right, my first question for you is, for those that may not know you, do you mind summarizing a bit of your story in your own words?
I'm just a musician from the San Diego area. Grew up in San Diego. Had my start with the band As I Lay Dying, which was like a metal band that got me off touring and into that scene. And I was in several other bands. Chapter 14. I was the vocalist for a band called Destroy the Runner, which I did an album I Lucifer with. I was the voice parody of Arnold Schwarzenegger for Austrian Death Machine for an album and a couple singles. The first album, Total Brutal, and then I started AVEIL, which is my solo project, and I write songs and I go under AVEIL. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
And it sounds like you've had a very successful career. My next question for you is, how do you think autism helps you when you make music?
Yeah, it is, you know, it helps me focus. I get really lost in things that I love, and I've always loved music, and I've loved writing and telling stories through music, and you know, being on the spectrum. In some ways, you get lost in certain things, and it might have negative impact on uh, maybe social interactions and things like that. But I do get kind of reclusive and I get lost in a project. And I think that's a good thing, a positive thing, because it helps me get things done.
I
So,
absolutely agree. I really like how you touched on how it helps you focus. I'm the same way with academics or booking interviews like these for various companies and content creators. And autism helps me in a way to zone out and be able to produce quality work. My next question for you is, you have a podcast called the Brew Up Foes podcast. Do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
yeah. So, Burritos is, uh, I drink a lot of beverages. I'm not promoting alcohol or anything, but I like coffee. I like non-alcoholic beer. I like beer. Um, and I also got really into UFOs and UAPs after a 2017 New York Times article where they were talking about a lot of military people speaking about UFOs and the legitimacy of it. And the article, I think it's called um, Black Money and Glowing Auras, and it's by authors Leslie Kane, Ralph Blumenthal, and Helene Cooper. And if anyone wants to check it out. But that really got me into UFOs, and I kind of went down the rabbit hole again, focusing, on a certain subject. I really started focusing on it and realizing how weird it was, and that there's something to it. And now, since 2017, I was like, man, I really want to talk to people that also are curious about this and may have some more answers. So I started Briffos as a conversation series to talk to people about their profession and also what they think about UAPs and UFOs. And, a lot of people have different opinions. So just what they think about it and what they've learned. So while
Uh,
drinking, while drinking a beverage, a favorite beverage of choice. That's where I was going with. So that's why it's Brewfos. So
that definitely sounds like an amazing podcast. I've watched a couple clips of it, but I might have to check out a few of your full episodes. My next question for you is: you have an album in the works. You told me by email that you have a song on the album called STIM. What was the inspiration behind that song?
Yeah, so I've written a few songs where I kind of touch on um, being neurodivergent, but not it's not kind of like straightforward. And this song I realized with the lyrics, it's more of my experience about being neurodivergent. And uh, there's a breakdown at the end, and I hadn't named the song yet. And at the end, when I was listening to it, I really do rock a lot to soothe myself, or I have some other things I do, but I was realizing I was stimming while listening to the breakdown, and I was like, man, what if I just named this song "Stim" because it's what I do when I listen to it. So, um, yeah, that's pretty much how I named it that and what it's about.
I definitely feel that. Recently, I've been noticing, and I'll show you briefly, that when I play guitar, I can stim a bit too.
Yeah, and it's like we're rocking out while we do it, right? But it's also soothing. So like some people might think, "Oh, you're just rocking out," but for neurodivergent people, it's even more than that, while we're
Yeah,
rocking out.
exactly. Hopefully. My last question for you is: what does the future hold for you? When can we expect the Neverland album to come out?
Yeah, it's called The Never Ending, and uh it's been a work in progress. So I've been just releasing singles, and it's going to be kind of like a group of all the singles I've put together over the last 5 years, and hopefully I could put it out. My birthday's next month. I like putting out stuff on my birthday, so if I can get it all done before my birthday, then maybe I'll put it out then. But if not, I'll definitely release that song "Stim," you know, hopefully by my birthday. So,
Oh,
but
well, happy early birthday. How old will you be turning?
I'm gonna be 42. It goes by
I,
fast, Caden.
I definitely feel that. I'm 21, and my adult life has definitely gone by fast already, and it's not even over yet.
Yeah, I watched some of your episodes and it's super inspiring. I was gonna ask you too, before we go, just I used to, I'm getting a little better at it, but I used to get really nervous before each Burrifo's episode. Um, do you have any problems with that, or is there any I don't know, advice you have for, because you've done a lot of episodes and it's very inspiring.
Thank you, sir. That means a lot. I don't get nervous. I've found that the more I do them, the more confident I feel. I get nervous sometimes, especially when I interview some of the big names that we've had, like Bryn B. Brown was definitely when I got really nervous too, because I grew up on Team Dirtbag. I would say for any aspiring interviewer or musician, I would say cast your net out. What's the worst that's going to happen? You, the worst that happens is you get rejected. And most importantly, be persistent. The way autism works with me is I don't mind hearing no. I just move on to the next person and then the next person until I get a potential interviewee or sale or article accepted into publication. So I think persistence is key.
That's awesome. I really appreciate what you're doing. I think it's really cool for the community too, and the way you're opening it up and making it um, something that people can watch and watch interviews of people they didn't even think might be on the spectrum, but now they know they are, and it just I just I think it's really cool what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. Anyways, that's going to do it for this interview. Thank you so much to Chad for coming on and sharing history. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Autism Digest channel. Check out our November issue that comes out next month by going to autismdigest.com. And stay tuned for the audio file to be posted on our Spotify. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.